Labor Party. Thank you.
Mr Speaker.
Michael Woodhouse.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm delighted to take the final call on the second reading on this bill, but I wonder if you just indulge me, as this is the first time I've spoken today, by acknowledging the people of Otago and Southland and the very good day it is for them, where the district health boards of the South Island have unanimously endorsed the expert panel's recommendations into the future of neurosurgical services, and this is really a victory for common sense, for clinical safety and viability, but most of all for people power and for the huge amount of support that was galvanised behind that issue and the success that brings. The expert panel acknowledged that were it not for that, the outcome might well have been different. Now, I just want to address the issue of my relationship with the unions, and Ms Beaumont is absolutely correct. I have a very, very good relationship with the unions. I regard them fondly. They actually make good managers' lives easier, and when those relationships work well, they work very well. But like any organisation, even unions can have their problems internally. And I have to congratulate the opposition for being an opposition, even when that flies in the face of absolutely everything they believe in. They believe in democracy. They believe in the sorts of international labour organisation conventions that say that this is a good thing to do. But it's also a case of if you're a sinner, you must have sinned. If this is being brought forward by the National Party, it can't possibly be a good idea. And I think that's a terrible shame, that in their efforts to be a good opposition, they can't do the common sense thing like the expert panel did and look at the issues and support this bill on its merits. Now, as you know, Mr Speaker, I'm a rugby referee, still get the odd game in. In fact, even Mr Mallard's run touch for me on the odd occasion when I've been refereeing Hutt Valley Marist. And one of the things the players always say to me is, whether you get it right or get it wrong, at least be consistent. And this is an issue that I think is a message and a lesson that that party and its supporter unions could take on board. I want to give you a couple of examples. I was fascinated by the Unite Union campaigning outside TVNZ demanding the immediate sacking of Paul Henry, instant dismissal. No rights of process, no rights of natural justice, just get rid of him. Didn't matter about the merits of the case or whether it was valid. There was a union that said that employee has no rights. But I think we also heard that in Select Committee when we're simultaneously hearing the Employment Relations Amendment Act, and in particular the 90-day probation period being extended. And members on the other side will recall them asking employer associations what would happen to an employee when applying for a job. When the employer says there's a 90-day provision, they say, I don't like that. The answer was, well, the prospective employee is free not to accept the job on those terms. Oh, how terrible. Oh, isn't that absolutely appalling? Well, I want to compare that with what we heard Carol Beaumont say tonight. And the Service and Food Workers Union repeated it in submissions on this bill. When we asked what would happen to an employee, a member of a union, who didn't like the rules which required an open process, what did they say? What did Ms Beaumont say? They're free to leave. So it's it. Take it or leave it. At least be consistent. This is a principled approach. It's a good idea.
That's right.
If it codifies what's exactly happening in practice, why on earth are you opposing it?
That's right.
There's still time. Labor can support this bill. It's a good bill, and I certainly support it.
Here, here.